When you look at their next 5 games, Don, they're at Astana in the Europa League, but the next 3 in the Premier League, home against Villa, home against Spurs. How about that? José Mourinho going there midweek, December the 4th. And then the Manchester derby the weekend following that before AZ Alkmaar. Don, compare Solskjaer's situation, if we will, to Unai Emery. Are we talking about the same level of thin ice here?
Not quite. I think Ole's got a little bit more time. The worry for United fans is take the first 70 minutes of the game in the weekend against Sheffield United. They got outfought, they got outran, they got bullied off the pitch. Sheffield United were a far better team. And don't let the 8 minutes when they scored 3 goals cloud that performance. It was nowhere near a Manchester United performance. Having said that, I could see what he's trying to do. I can see that he's trying to bring the youngsters through. It's the experienced players, in my opinion, that are not helping the youngsters. I played in the Liverpool side in the early 90s and 92 when we had a crop of youngsters coming through, and our experienced players helped us along the way so much. But when you're a young player, and there's loads of young players in that United side, they are learning their way in life. They are learning the way around a football pitch, how to manage themselves on a daily basis. You don't know how to win, titles. You don't know how to win trophies or even get in the top 4. It's difficult. So I can see what Ole's trying to do. Will he be the man that takes them back into the top 4? Maybe. Will he be the man that takes them to the top? I probably doubt it. But you've got to give him time to try and progress this club and take the club further on. It might be a case of he's preparing, United to win titles for the next manager that comes through the door.
Well, Ian, from the 2 stumbling ones to the humble one, the self-anointed humble one, José Mourinho and his first game in charge for Spurs. Did you like what you see, and do you now believe that Spurs might have what it takes to actually end up in the top 4 after all?
I doubt it, to be honest with you. They're a long way behind. They're 8 points adrift. They've got a lot of ground to make up. They've got 25 games to do it in. I mean, as Shaka was saying, West Ham are the ideal fixture at the moment. They haven't won since goodness knows when. And usually when they play against Spurs, they are breathing fire. They absolutely hate Tottenham, the West Ham fans, and quite often they've put a dent in Spurs. But there was absolutely no sign of that from the beginning. So it was a bit of a gimme for José Mourinho. But so far, of course, he hasn't put a foot wrong. This is the usual Jose start, isn't it? He's all charm. He's saying it's not about me, saying all the right things. But I think you've got to give it 18 months. Will it be the same old story? Will it end in tears? I still think he's got questions to answer after what happened at Manchester United about whether now the kind of tactics and style that he had that brought him so many trophies, whether he can still win trophies or whether that style's become a bit outdated.
Yeah, it's so often a sparkling start, isn't it, with Mourinho wherever he goes. Don, putting aside the first result, did you like the appointment?
I was a little bit torn, to be honest, because I think when you look back at Pochettino's era, the 5 years that he was there, he finished second, a third in the Champions League final. So I thought he earned the right to try and fix a lot of problems that were happening on the pitch, players running their contracts down, etc. Dele Alli out of form. So I thought he deserved that time to maybe have another window to get these players out and new players in and try and refresh that squad. Having said that, your thought process changes. As soon as Jose comes through the door, if you had asked me a fortnight ago, will Tottenham finish in the top 4, I would have said no chance. Now with Jose in charge, the players are going to, their mindset's going to prick up. It's like being back at school where the head teacher's, watching every move and you've got one of the best managers in the world. It's going to be one of those games, one of these runs of games, in my opinion, where you see Jose probably pick up an awful lot of points in the short term and get Tottenham very, very close. I was chatting to Peter Schmeichel at the weekend, and I suggested that they might just pip Leicester for the top 4. And Peter nearly ripped my head off when I suggested that to him. So I won't be doing that again under Peter. But I think under Jose, they've got a better chance of getting in the top 4 than under Pochettino.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.